They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Why did I think depth year would be easy? I don't know what was wrong with me back then, but I failed, guys. I failed my depth year. So today I wanted to talk about why I failed, what happened. You know, when you meet a failure, is it a good thing or a bad thing? People say, don't use the word failure, it sounds bad. To be honest, I'm okay with the word failure. It doesn't really bring much trauma to me. A failure is a failure and that's fine. I think what's more important is to find out why I failed, how I failed, and then set better rules so that it's more achievable the next time. It is quite important to me, to be honest, like to keep to my word to myself, just because at the beginning of the year I felt like I lacked a lot of trust with myself. I feel like if you keep breaking promises with yourself, that's when things start to go downhill, and that's what happened this time again. Let's recap my depth year rules. 1 deck for the first half of 2020 and 4 decks for the second half of 2020, which is I don't know, I thought it was realistic but clearly it isn't. 0 Oracle decks, just 5 Tarot decks because I don't read Oracle.
I'm not gonna buy any more Oracle decks, she said. I don't use Oracle that much, she said.
I can't put this better than Julie from Peekaboo Rose did, so the limit for 5 Tarot decks might not have been realistic. I realized I did not take into account how many decks I bought last year, so if I counted and used that as a gauge to stretch myself for buying less this year, I think that would have worked out better. The problem is I didn't really keep a count. Plus, I was just buying when I felt like buying because it was my breadth year. I wanted to explore. So I thought, it's easy to just draw back. But I feel like habits die hard. The other thing is also because of what is happening in the world now. There's a pandemic. There is some craziness happening all over the world, even in Singapore. Because you can't do really much, you do have extra cash from saving from commutes. Give me a break. Give me a break. I guess that's the other reason why I failed. It's just the circumstances throughout this whole thing that we all didn't. Considering that we're sort of psychics or fortune tellers or whatever you want to call it, it kind of caught me unawares how bad the situation would be, at least mentally. And buying decks is a way for me to cope. Whether it's a good coping mechanism, I don't think it is, but it is still an acceptable one at this point in time. I'm not drinking, I'm not, doing other things. So let's review the decks that I actually bought from January to June. This not only talks about how I failed my depth year, but how I can estimate going forwards from June to December what I want to do. So what did I buy? I didn't count this in, but I bought a deck called the Philosophy deck in January. I also bought Tarot of the Passing Showers from Valerie Chia. So these were 2 things that I didn't count because I started my depth year only in February. Okay, February to now, what have I bought for myself so far? I bought the Bhutan Tarot, I backed it on Kickstarter. Number 2, I also bought the Fantastic Menagerie pre-order. I bought the Tarot Perrin, I bought the Star Spinner Tarot, and I also backed the Gothmancy Tarot. So that's about 7 decks that I got. I think one thing that made me realize why I keep buying decks is just because a lot of decks are pre-orders or backing on Kickstarter, where you don't get that instant gratification. When a deck comes to me, that's when the gratification comes, but actually some of the gratification comes when you click something or back it. And just because it comes later, that delayed gratification can really be less gratifying to some extent. So I want to count all this in, even though I haven't received the decks yet, and then see how I want to do that going forwards. Okay, so these are the 7 I bought. And to be honest, last week I just bought the the Plain Marseille. So that's 8 decks in total. I haven't received that yet. It's still considered as pre-order stage on Book Depository, so I don't know how long it will take. I know I said don't order pre-orders from Book Depository, but shipping is crazy from Amazon now. It didn't used to be so expensive, so I got a feeling it has to do with the pandemic. I had no choice. When you only have one outlet, you have to accept all the good and bad. I guess I'll just wait like for 4 or 5 months before Book Depository gives me that deck, but let's see what happens. Hopefully they give me a better experience this time. Okay, so that's 8 decks I bought in January to June. I don't anticipate myself buying any more tarot decks, but again, I started off telling myself to buy 5. In the end, I have 8 decks, 2 I don't want to count, so 6. 6 is already overshooting my 5 for the whole year. So I need to think about how I want to do a stretch goal for the rest of the year from June to December. Okay, I told myself 0 Oracle decks, and I kind of achieved that in a way, but when I saw the El Sharinga Oracle deck that is sold with the Gothmancy Tarot deck on Kickstarter, I kind of felt this draw. It was a really beautiful Oracle deck. And even though I don't use Oracle as much, like the clip that I showed from Julie, I don't use Oracle, but I want to try. I want to try Oracle so bad. I want to be better at it. I want to explore more. And therefore, I think you know, I should explore more. Allow myself, even though it's a depth year. So I bought one more, the Angel and Ancestors Oracle deck on Book Depository. Hopefully it'll arrive soon. So those are 2 decks that I bought from January to June for Oracle. Okay, so new rules, right? From January to June, I bought 8 tarot decks and 2 Oracle decks. A good challenge would be to half it. So I'll get 4 tarot decks and 1 Oracle deck. At the same time, I do feel like that might be setting myself up for failure again because half is quite drastic. So I'm going to allow myself maybe 5 tarot decks from June to December and 2 Oracle decks from June to December. We'll see what happens. I do have a lot on my wish list. I do think a lot, but I'll be getting a lot of tarot decks in August. Hopefully, if the whole situation with the pandemic cools down and delivery becomes fast, I probably will receive around 3 or 4 decks in August or September. So hopefully that will sate my appetite for tarot. And if in that case, I feel like I'll allow myself to buy Oracle decks instead of tarot decks. You know, I allow myself to flit around. But those are my rules for now from June to December. So I'm going to hold myself accountable, hopefully control myself, because I feel like with all my videos on temptations, I do feel like I do take time to actually think about the purchases. So you don't have to worry. I don't feel pressured by anything to buy. I don't feel like desire will overcome me also. I do feel like I'm still going to be really careful with my purchases. In the end, if I don't really use the deck much, I'll take it as a learning experience and hopefully try to move it along. Okay, one of my rules was to let decks go. I don't know if I can do that just because it's so practically difficult doing it in Singapore. Really difficult. But let's see. I'm gonna let that rule go for now. Rule number 2, no more e-courses. For e-courses, I bought Tom Benjamin's Marseille Tarot, and again, even though it's a great course so far, I have not done the exercises because I'm so lazy. I prefer to just watch and absorb, you know, even though I know I should do the work, so I don't feel like I'm getting the full benefit of it. I also bought a coding course, which is actually not too bad because I've been forcing myself to do the exercises 30 minutes a day. So hopefully that will help me in my career, even though I don't know where I'm going in my career. I guess I'll allow myself one more e-course by the end of the year if I find something that really resonates with me. Otherwise, I should really be doing my old e-courses. I have so many. I have Python. I have T. Susan Chang's tarot course that I have not revisited. So a lot of things on my plate. The third rule this year for 2020 is no more crystals. And then I said no crystals because I don't know how to use crystals at all. Crystals, I have no idea how to work with them. But guess what? I got crystals and I bought 3 crystals even though I said 0 because I always wanted a bumblebee jasper that is a palm stone. They usually are sold in cabochons, and when I saw this in the palm stone version, I had to get it. Did it add to my spiritual path? I don't think so. I don't know how to work with crystals, okay? So if anyone, again, have good resources on working with crystals, please tell me. I just sleep with it. Even though I feel like it's more of a work crystal. And on a whim, I just bought this ocean jasper as well. And this celestite egg just because I've been doing some work, trying to work with angels, you know, to some extent, but I don't know how to do it still. But these are the 3 crystals I bought. And I'm hoping, I don't know, let's see what happens. I had no limits for my books, which ended up with me having so many extra books. I'm not gonna set a limit for my books for now. I feel like maybe I should set more goal to keep track of what I'm trying to read, you know, and my progress towards it. What happens with me is that I flit around from book to book. I don't really concentrate on one book to finish it, which is my bad. And I do want to try to extract as much knowledge from a book that I can, and practical knowledge, so I can do something. And most of the times after I read it, I just absorb and just let it go from my mind, and I don't add anything to my practice because I'm lazy. So that's more of a goal kind of thing, less than the depth year thing. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this gives you an insight into my depth year. You guys have a great rest of the day and goodbye. Take care.